the Italian F4 Championship here this weekend at Misano, and we race around this 4.2 mile circuit that is full of action indeed. Hello and welcome to the final this weekend, round number 7, the final race, well, the second final race, I should say, of the year for the Italian F4 Championship. Hope everybody has enjoyed the coverage of Italian F4 so far this year. This is the second final race in Silvestri, up in the commentary box. I will be also helping him out as well. Sebastian Weldon lining up on pole position for the final here this afternoon. He's alongside King Nakamura Berta. But let's head down and chat with Laura Cola.
How do you feel about this morning race?
It was actually a great improvement yesterday that we did together, and I think that it was what we were working on throughout the year with Mafia Racing. And yeah, that was a big step actually for this round after the whole championship, which turned out not really successfully for us. But yeah, this race is looking really promising, and today, of course, we are going for the points again, and that's the only result we're actually hoping for.
Good luck.
Laura Cola there, down there on the grid. Of course, Sebastian Weldon lining up on the front row of the grid. Of course, 8 drivers got eliminated through race 1, 2, and 3 for not scoring the maximum amount of points possible, meaning they got eliminated. And now there's only 26 drivers that get into the final. Let's take a look at the highlights so far this weekend. It has been really dominated by Sebastian Weldon here this weekend. And for more, let's hand it up to Ian. Out of all that, King Nakamura Berta yesterday won the championship in race number 2. We then went racing in race number 3 with Gabriel Gomez and Salim Hanna lining up on the front row of the grid. Salim Hanna was not even able to get close to Gabriel Gomez to even force an attack, but the Prema cars were right on him the whole race. But Gabriel Gomez was always in the shot. He ended up winning yesterday in race number 3. Race number 1, we're back. Hello, welcome in. We're back. Hello. Welcome in. I was actually quite worried that the Discord messages wouldn't come through, because it has happened in the recent past where they haven't actually ended up coming through. Let's take a look at our starting grid for the final race of the year for Sebastian Weldon, who lines up on the front row of the grid with King Nakamura, Salim Hanna, and Newman Chi, the front 2 rows on the grid. Lucas Sabalisto and Gabriel Gomez in P6. Maximilian Popov, the Jamaican sensation, in P7. Alexander Bondarev in P8. Position 9 goes out the way of Kirill Kostov in P9. And Andrea Charles Dup in P10. Emmanuel Olivieri, for those Italian lovers, Italian, P11. And Dante Vinci, the Australian, in position 12. Bart Harrison in P13, David Cosmo Christopher in P14, Andrea Kostic in P15, and Alexander Vuda in P16. We also round out with Reno Franco, Marcus Saita, and Artem Severukin, the Chinese driver, along with Teo Strop, the Argentinian, lining up in position 20. Andy Consani in position 21. And Jan Collard in P22, Kabir Anurag in P23, and Alex Powell, the American sensation, in P24, lining right back down on the grid. David Walter and David Gorbusso in P26, Badul Al-Sati in P27, and Ella Louis Wees in P P28. P29, Nicola Majiki in P29, and Ari Benzel in P30. Guy Albag and Nicholas Gottaz, the Italian, in position 32. Position 33, Oscar Roberto and Francesco Piacoppola in P34. Alexander Savinkov in P35, and Florian Mahapa in P36. And attempts the Italian accent. Italian! Oh my god, I didn't even realize he was live again. Hello, Sydney. Welcome in. This is what normal streams are like on this channel. A lot of commentary, so I might not get to a lot of the messages as well, so just be warned of that in this one. But this is the final for the Italian F4 Championship. If you've missed any races so far this year, well, let me tell you this much. You've missed quite a bit. We've already crowned a champion here in the Italian F4 Championship. Round number 7 here at Misano. And for those people that are wondering, we've still got 2 races to go. Normally there are only 3 races, but this weekend, grid capacity of 40. We've outmaxed that. 53 drivers in this championship. 26 were eliminated yesterday. Matteo Lossa up in the ACI Sport commentary box. And Ian Savistri also up in the commentary box as well. So those two working alongside each other in 2 separate commentary boxes. But this should be good. Very much indeed. For those people that are wondering, already crowned a champion. Kin Nakamura Berta. Yesterday, he crowned himself a champion. Gabriel Gomez. For those people that are wondering, the Brazilian driver out in race number 2. Didn't even make it to the grid. Stalled on the dummy grid. Was not able to make it out. That was also, by the way, an alternator failure that was not able to get that car out there. Me thinking it was an engine failure makes me feel really, really stupid. The cars on the grid. Why those red lights are flashing? That's only because... that's because there's a bit of rain around there here at Misano. Yeah, a bit of rain around, so those rain lights flashing in the background. Track has been declared wet. Now, the track's physically not wet, but there is a chance of it raining, so that's why the FIA and the officials have declared the track wet. We're about to go racing here in the Italian F4 Championship. It's about to be epic. It's Sebastian Weldon, Kin Nakamura Berta, 1 and 2 of the championship. It's lights out and away we go. And it's a good start from Kin Nakamura Berta. Car off the road. Many cars off the road. As they cut through the grass, Kin Nakamura Berta beats the guy that's been almost impeccable off the line, Sebastian Weldon, into turn number 1. What a start from our championship leader and winner so far this year. Everybody gets through first chicane in turn 1, turn 2. Do they all get through? Yes. Just. It's cute. Oh. Kin Nakamura Berta leads as we head down now into turn number 4 and 5. And out the other side, turn 6. And the car's now making their run down the back straight. Kin Nakamura Berta under brakes. Trying to once more outbrake everybody as 3 wide further back. And they're all piling up here as they try and get position here. And once more, the car's making their run through. Of course, 2 races still to come. Grid capacity this weekend. But Kin Nakamura Berta has just absolutely launched it off the line. We've seen Sebastian Weldon, who's been really good so far with the starts off the grid. He's just been able to out-clutch Sebastian Weldon so far. And he's put himself in second. Salim Hanna and Lucas Samalisto as well, sitting right there as they battle further back. The 2 Prema drivers getting real close to each other there. Gabriel Gomez, he starts in P10, big crash, and there's cars off in the background. Yellow flag, big crash further back. And will this become our first safety car of the weekend? Here in the Italian F4 Championship, all are those cars able to move? No, that car's got huge damage on the right front. And somehow it's moving, but it won't be moving for much longer. It's got huge damage on the right front of that car. Huge, huge damage. This could become a safety car. The FIA doing a very, very good job to try and keep this race green. But for how much longer will it be green for? So the cars make their run through. at what will be a top speed for not too long now. Yellow flag still out. RHGP car into the pits. That is Lucas Samalisto out of this race, and that is one of the RSGP cars shooting up the inside with a lockup in the process. So that Pirelli Lover will not be liking the amount of lockups that we've seen so far this weekend. Sebastian Weldon under a bit of pressure from the cars behind. That has been quite an epic start so far into this race. 3 minutes and 40 seconds gone. Yellow flag still out, so the FIA thinking that possibly they could get that car moved, as right around the outside from Maximilian Popov. What a move. And he's just popped himself up into position number 12, and there's a car stranded in the background. That surely has to be a safety car here. That car is not moving at any point. The FIA doing a really good job to keep this race running. Yellow flag still waving. Will we get a safety car? Sebastian Weldon, fastest lap of the race, 1:37.1. We're still 8 tenths off the pace of actually yesterday's running, so still a bit off in terms of pace. There, but everybody now just trying to file their way in and trying to get into a bit of a rhythm. Sprint races like these, you don't normally get a rhythm. The marshal's working hard to try, and that is Al Sorti, the Qatarian driver, out of this race. Quite unfortunately, 25-minute races. New front wing going on car number 8 there. As the cars make their run now down into Sunset Corner. And on the exit, this battle. Guta and Gabriel Gomez. Sorry, this is the battle for position 3 and 4. Let's take a look at the replay of the start. Not a bad start, actually, from Sebastian Weldon. It was practically even, but it was the run down into turn number 1 that was almost perfect. Gabriel Gomez off on the grass off the start there. Ki Nakamura Berto, though, the start was almost immaculate. He got off the line almost perfectly matched to Sebastian Weldon. Look at Gomez in the background there, getting all crossed up and sideways on the grass. No grip out there compared to the black tarmac. And that's Gabriel Gomez skating off the road. And this is what happened to Al Sorti. Oh, big crash. And you can understand why that car is not moving. It's been lifted up in the air, and the rear left suspension and the right front suspension has just been torn straight off that car. How have we not gone safety car? It's unbelievable. The marshals have done an amazing job so far to keep this race green. Sebastian Weldon, 136.6. We've got a yellow flag out. Now, will this be the safety car that we've sadly not been wanting? There's gravel off. Someone's off. Big, big gravel plume shooting up in the air. And there's a car off in the fence. And there is a car off in the fence. Not sure where that is, but I can see it. There's, 2 cars have had heavy contact. And 2 off and in the fence. That car 52 and car 47 off. Surely we get the long-awaited safety car. Hopefully we don't. Hopefully the marshals can move that car. But of course you need a tractor out there to be able to move them. Bit of push and shove further back out in the grass. 1 car, 2 wheels actually. That was Olivieri and Bondrev. Getting a bit closer than liking to the grass down there. Repetto out of this race. The Qatarian driver. Running over to the marshalling point down there. And I think we've gone safety car. So, this whole weekend we've gone safety car free, but we have now gone safety car. Oh, and they've just made contact on the exit of 1 down there. So that turn 2 where we've seen that accident happen. We've gone 12 now, 12 minutes, 7 minutes into this race. 3 laps, we've gone safety car. And that's for the first time this weekend that we've seen that. And of course, the reason why we've had to actually go safety car here is because they're going to need a tractor to be able to get those 2 cars moved out of the way so we can go back to green flag racing as soon as possible. But in the process, we've seen now Keen Nakamura Bertha leading this race. And at the moment, he's doing it by 1.2 seconds, that margin. As cars make their run up through turn number 4 using all the ripple strip and a bit more. In a GT car, that would be track limits. So, quite free roaming as to where track limits are for these F4 cars. As the crowds continue to build to watch this finale for the Italian F4 Championship. Of course, not the only racing here this weekend like it's normally been for these events. We do have the TCR Italy and the Italian Sport prototypes as well, along with the Porsche Carrera Cup Italia. And fast work from the marshals here at Misano because we're going back racing this time around. So fast work from the marshals and the first safety car we've seen this weekend. Because Keen Nakamura Bertha will lead us back to green flag. Safety car is in this lap. Wow, that's a quick recovery down there from the crew. Very, very quick recovery. Cars continuing to put temperature into their tyres. Sebastian Weldon close in behind. This is going to help Weldon, not going to help Keen Nakamura Bertha. He was building a lead, 7/10. Nakamura Bertha will get us back to green flag racing for race number 4 of the Italian F4 Championship. We've got one more race still to come as the cars now make their run out of the final corner. Newman Chi just getting wide slightly. Lucas Samalisto was able to pass them to the 2 Prema drivers of Salim Hanna and Newman Chi. Samalisto has made his way up into P3. 1 and 2 in the championship, 1 and 2 on the road. Sebastian Weldon, 1 and 3 on the road, sorry. 1 and 3 in the championship as well. As that car number 5, that is Andrea Charles Dup in position 5. Gomez has just made a position. He's up into P7. So making his way through the grid is Gabriel Gomez. Covering once more Gomez off Maximilian Popov. This battle involves Gutta and Olivieri in position 10 and Bondarev in P11. Oh, big lock up. That car 31 having a huge lock up. That's Gutta in the background. Thought I saw a car spinning, but my eyes deceive me. Gomez covering. Not wanting to lose this position. That is Bondarev trying to keep this position once more alive. Olivieri able to get back up the inside and keep that position alive. Gutta off the roads and being practically forced off the road there. I think that was not by Gabriel Gomez, but that was car 77 forcing almost off the road. It's absolutely wild. Sebastian Weldon takes the leads here in race number 4. Sebastian Weldon straight up the inside at turn number 1. He takes the lead. Slipstream to his advantage. He takes the lead. He's won every race so far this weekend. He's hoping to do the same. What absolute domination here in the final rounds at Misano. We did hear that he had good pace in the collective testing and free practice. And now he's using that to his ability. Those long race runs have really helped him quite well. The field spread out by less than 2.5 seconds. 3 seconds, 3.5 seconds, sorry. I should mention. Field starts to calm down a little bit. And as I say that, nearly 5-way battle pack. This with Anurag up in front of him. Gonzani, the GT4 European champion. Zavarukun, Bart House in there in P13. This race just now starting to calm down. Low-key watching this. Low-key watching this dream makes me smile. Oh. Sebastian Weldon, though, he continues to lead 0.4 of a second back to Keen Nakamura Bertha. Sebastian Weldon, though, be taking that fastest lap of the race off the roads, and that is Newman Chi. Now he's really under pressure by Dup in position 5 and Gabriel Gomez as well. Gomez in behind, wanting to pull a move. Of course, Gomez started position 10, sorry. So he's made up a good amount of positions, and that safety car really would have helped him. Newman Chi putting the pressure on his teammate. I didn't realise you were reading the chat. Oh, that's fine. Around the outside, Gomez! Right around the outside on Dup. Andreas Charles Dup really getting the pressure put on him. And they'll be 3 wide on the exit. Or will they? They still keep it side by side. 2 by 2. Gomez, left, right. Goodine just in behind. Slight rear lock up there from Gomez. Lucky to not spin it around. Charles Dup trying to keep that position. Popov, the Jamaican sensation. Absolutely sensational in this one. Gomez has made positions out of it. Dup trying to get the position back. Not going to happen. Popov now leads this train. The margin, 2.6 seconds from Popov to Newman Chi. That margin has increased. This car number 3, Maximilian Popov, the Jamaican sensation. Sensational, and the reason why we call him sensational is because he's made many positions in this championship so far. Car cutting the chicane. That is Andreas Charles Dup as well. Cutting. Right through the chicane. Sebastian Weldon once more sets another fastest lap of the race. 1:36.2. We're 0.3 faster than what we were in race number 3. A little bit yesterday night when we last went racing. Take a look at this replay, and that is a car off the road. That is car number 44. Cutting through the gravel. Cut back to this battle. Car number 27, side by side, the Prema driver. Many battles going on further back down the grids. One of the Alpine Academy drivers really really putting the pressure on the cars in front of him. And a bit of front wing lost there. And that is Maximilian Popov, the Jamaican sensation, losing his front wing. And Charles Dup is dropping back as well. He's got a rear left puncture. That car is in huge trouble. As Kyle Anurag makes his way up the field after not the best race number 3. And car around that, car 50, Bondarev pointing in the wrong direction. Pointing back towards Italy. That car, not where you'd be wanting to go. Not at this point. Anyway. Take a look at this replay. Oh, and that's why. So, has that front wing just fallen off of Dup and Popov made contact? It is quite possible that they possibly could have. Could be wrong. There you go. So, no, that wasn't Popov. So, Popov was not in that incident there. He still sits P7, according to the timing screens here. He still sits P7, surprisingly. And Satar, 5-second time penalty for track limits. And this, why car number 50 was around. Alexander Bondarev. Spinning in a spectacular fashion. 7 minutes, 50 seconds to go. Track limits abuse there for Wies, the German driver. She, of course, fighting for the Women's Cup in this championship. And more front wing damage That is car number 27. 77, sorry. I stand corrected. And with no front wing, that will cost him. That is Bart Harrison around and out of this race. So, of course, with front wing damage, no compulsory pit stops in this championship. Up the insides, Salim Hanna and Newman Chi. Hanna pushed wide, Chi back up the insides. Nicely done. Chi grabs the position, but does he? This, the reason why no front wing on Bart Harrison's car. Spun around the British driver. Just a few weeks ago, won GB3. That GB3 championship, very, very competitive. Back to the outside for Bart Harrison. Once more putting the pressure on Newman Chi. Of course, we just had that overtake from Newman Chi. Bart Harrison not wanting to let that position go so easily like he just did. Bart Harrison getting on a new front wing on that car. And I think they're putting on new tyres as well on that car. Meanwhile, Salim Hanna to the outside. He's backed out of it. He nearly made contact with Newman Chi. And his teammate nearly spins him around. Salim Hanna nearly spun Newman Chi around about 360 degrees the wrong way. Action up and down the field. To the outside, Salim Hanna. He's putting Newman Chi under huge amounts of pressure. Popov now has closed in on this battle. The margin was 2.3 before. Maximilian Popov, the Jamaican sensation, can become a threat to these two. With 5 minutes, 50 seconds to go. 136.1, 2/10 faster once more has Sebastian Weldon gone. Wow. The American sensation. There's so many sensational drivers in this championship. Of course, confirmed we will be back here next year for the season finale for the Italiano F4 Championship. As the Italian F4 Championship rounds out. And we soon are to get some more action on the way. For those people that have joined on my Discord, we've got about 4 to 6 hour streams every single weekend after Formula 1. So this weekend we will have the trophy season starting in Sydney Motorsport Park. And then continuing onwards as well. Alexander Ruta. Warning flag for track limits abuse. That's car 38. Ruta, who sits down in P23 at the moment. Having a scrap with David Walter in P24. Popov abusing the track limits there. That might be a warning. Of course, these drivers would know what a warning would be. They would have had the drivers briefing on Thursday or even Wednesday when they got here. Sebastian Weldon, fastest lap of the race, 136.0. He's continuing to pull that margin out in front, 1.5 seconds back to King Nakamura Bertha. Bertha's actually under pressure to Lucas Samalisto. Up inside, the Jamaican sensation, Maximilian Popov pulls a move on Salim Hanna. And in the process, Gomez grabs a position. Teo Schropp gets track limits warning. So people really abusing the track limits. What a move from the Jamaican sensation, Maximilian Popov. And Gomez is like, yep, I'll have a bite of that cherry cake as well. He grabs the position as well. Up in a P6. So he's really taken a bite of that cherry cake for Gomez and said, thank you very much. I will be taking that. And he moves himself now up into position 6. This car, 77. A bit further back down the grid. Sebastian Weldon leading out by nearly 2 seconds now with 3 laps to go. We look at Andreas Charles Dup, who we saw off the road a little while ago. This car 88, Salim Hanna. And this, Gutta, Andrea Cansani, track limits warning. And also there's one for our race leader, Sebastian Weldon, with a track limits warning as well. And he's just set the fastest lap of the race in the process, 1:35.9. Fastest lap of the weekend so far. He's flying. The boy from Vegas continuing to pull out that margin, 2.3 seconds. The boy from Vegas absolutely flying out there at the moment. .3 seconds back to Keen Nakamura-Berta. Nakamura-Berta and Samalisto quite close to each other at the moment. Gomez up inside. Pulling a move on Popov. These two battling for P5 and P6. Teo Schropp, 5-second time penalty, car 21 for abusing track limits. 5-second time penalty, Eloise in P22. That will be a hard feat. Gomez outside, Popov inside. This is not going to end well. To the outside, Gomez sticks his foot in. Nearly spun him around and he was sideways on the apex. Popov really covering this position. Gomez with a rear left lockup. That's quite strange to see, but that was really close. Nearly had him 360 rounds. Gomez, our championship rival, putting all the pressure on the back of the Jamaican sensation boy. That battle for P5, he was fully sideways in the apex at turn 13. Sorry, I recorrect myself, turn 10. Wow. Fully sideways. What a dive from Gomez. He really went for that. He was not giving any chances to Popov for pulling away. And behind him is Salim Hano, who's dropped right back into position 7. Of course, from that double overtake, we saw Newman Cheek grab a position, then Gomez grab a position. So, Gomez taking as many positions as he possibly can. Gomez moves himself up into P6. He started P10, so a pretty good performance in 25 minutes. A lot of rear locking going on for most of these cars. This car, 77. Teammate to... So that was Bart Harrison, who we saw spinning around. So Bart Harrison just moving out of the way. Up the inside, and that is a move done. Gutta up the inside on Alexander Torpedo cover. This is not going to end well if these two continue to be side by sides. Bit of front wing in the background there. Off, but Sebastian Weldon will be starting the final lap of the race this time around, and he has 2.7 seconds. The margin. What a race. Last lap. Final lap of the race. And Sebastian Weldon, 1:35.7. He's flying. He's extended the margin to 3.2 seconds on that last lap. Weldon. He's a flying little fin at the moment. In that car, Sebastian Weldon. The last few laps, 36.0, 35.9, 36.0, and a 35.8. This young boy from Vegas is absolutely flying. And he's in contention, by the way, next year to really win this Italian F4 championship. He really can. There's no doubt about it. Luca Samalisto was putting pressure on the back of Keen Nakamura-Berta. That no longer. Berta has just put his head down and really pulled away in this one. But in the final, our man, but our real man, is Keen Nakamura-Berta, who's really put on a performance this year. He's your champion. Keen Nakamura-Berta, your champion of the Italian F4 Championship. Round of applause. Sebastian Weldon goes 4 from 4 this weekend. Domination in 2025. Domination in the final rounds. Sebastian Weldon. Newman Chi, the winner in the rookies. And then in the women's race, it is Weiss who wins the women's race this weekend, fighting for that women's championship. Further back, Dup, putting all the pressure on Kuta, putting all the pressure on Dup. So that's Salim Hana. I stand once more corrected. I corrected myself 3 times for that. Bullstall 5-second penalty. We also had Al-Sulti, the 5-second penalty, and Consani with a 5-second penalty as well. So penalties galore in the Italian F4 Championship. Not many support races here this weekend, so you will see not much rubber or build up or pick up on these tyres, or even on the circuit. Not much pick up this weekend. Not many races here at Misano. We don't have the Campanino Italiano GT Championship. Don't have that here this weekend, so track is very much lacked in terms of action, but not lacked in terms of sprint races. This race was very much a sprint. In terms of sprint races, we've got Porsche Grey Cup Italia and TCR Italy. Of course, the Italian sport prototypes. All, of course, which spoke in Italian. So I would probably learn Italian because it would be quite helpful in the near future. That car 21 there in the background being pushed back to the pit, sadly, retiring. The pit lane here really packed this weekend. But at the end of the weekend, it is Sebastian Weldon. It would be cool if you could earn. It would be cool if you could earn at least some information about Italian. Yeah, it would be cool. Sebastian Weldon wins over Kin Nakamura, Lucas Samalisto, Newman Chi, Maximilian Popov, Gabriel Gomez, Salim Hana, Kirill Christoph, Andrea Charles Dup, and Emmanuel Olivieri in position 10. In position 11, it is Artem Severukin. Learn, I say. I'm kidding. Yeah, I should. Andrea Kostic, David Cosma, Christopher, Reno Freinkart, Cabiano, Andy Consani, Alex Powell, Ari Leindyke, along with Ludovico Busso and Marquez Data, David Walter, and many more further back down the grid. Good idea. That would be interesting to watch. It certainly would be. Sydney, it certainly would be. Sebastian Weldon, 4 in a row, number 1. He scored himself nearly 100 points this weekend. It has been pure domination. There, Newman Chi getting weighed. Let's head it up to ACI Sport commentators for the podium.
America. There's Luca in the background. Another podium for the Finn for Us Racing. Remember, we've still got one race to finish out the 12th season. That is at 4 o'clock this afternoon to make up for the red flagged race at Imola before the summer break. Lucas Samalisto on the podium again is the Finn for Us Racing. The newly crowned champion, Kin Nakamura Berta, home in position 2. He enjoyed himself out there, led the early stages before being overtaken by Sebastian Weldon, who takes the victory. This is the American. We'll hear from Lucas Samalisto in just a moment. The Finn for Us Racing on the podium once again.
So look at 3 races before finish and 2 podiums. So a great way to close the season on a high note.
Yeah, it feels really good. We get good championship points. I also had quite good expectations when we came to the last round here in Misano, and yeah, to be honest, all the 3 races went really well. 2 podiums and 1 P4 finish, so we get really good points in the back, and we also go more further in championship, so I'm really happy with the result that we get.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Kiitos, Lucas Samalisto from Sweden. Unified Finnish language skills as we look at the highlights of race 4 here this morning. morning. Sebastian Wilden from pole position was jumped by his Japanese teammate off the start. Nakamura Berta down the inside as Gabriel Gomez and Jan Koller. Both the US Racing drivers went grass tracking. It was KMB into P1 from grid 2, Sebastian in second place. Safety car was out earlier as Bader Al Salati was helped around. The Qatari was out, a brief safety car intervention. Oscar Peto, Alexander Savinkov, the New Zealander and the Ukrainian ending in the gravel. Max Popov with a fabulous pass. It was a good race between he, Gomez, Andrea Dupé and Kirill Kutskov. Popov going on through car 3 to come home in 5th place. This was the moment that Alexander Bondarev and Dante Vinci came together. The Australian and the Ukrainian making contact and then a brief pit stop. They did rejoin, but finishing right down in 29th and 30th positions. Jan Koller also going around. He rejoined to finish in P28, but Sebastian Wilden once again unstoppable. And the driver from St. Petersburg in the United States of America, the Floridian, takes his 3rd victory of the weekend to move back into 2nd place in the championship with the season final at 4 o'clock later this afternoon. We heard from Luca Samolisto just a moment ago. Another podium for the Finn. King Nakamura Berta, the newly crowned champion, makes his way up onto the podium. A very deserving champion. He has been class in 2025. And Sebastian Wilden, with his 3rd victory of the weekend, moves to 2nd in the series with 1 race remaining in 2025. Mr. Giancarlo Minardi, who has fielded cars in the European Italian Formula 3 Championships way back in the 1970s at this very circuit, before creating the legendary Formula 1 team in his own name. He presents the trophies to 3rd place Luca, 2nd place newly crowned champion Ken, and once again P1 to Sebastian Wilden. One race remaining in 2025. Clock this afternoon.
That is in 10 minutes. The final for about 10 minutes. See you then. Goodbye.
Thanks for watching.
E ora si brinda, abbiamo le motivo, passeggiamo sul podio di Misano.